Alright, today's video is on the quarters theory levels. I don't claim to be an expert on quarters theory, but I just wanted to show you what I am doing. And so this is the monthly chart. We have all of the price action that we have available visible from 1971 to 2023. What I want to show you real quick is the fact of what we have here is, if you look down here, we have zero, right? Okay, now we could draw a line down here as zero if we want to, but just to illustrate, we can do that real quick so you can see it. Okay, now the reason why I didn't bother with that in the first place is because price never got down there. Okay, so if we look at 0 to 1, okay, 0 down here, and we go all the way up to 1, we know the halfway point is what? 0.5, right? 0.5. So let's just start there. Halfway point is 0.5. We have the whole number on the other opposite end from 0 to 1. We have the 1. So from the halfway point 0.5 to 1, halfway between there is the 75,000. Halfway between the 50,000 and the 75,000 is 62,500. Halfway between the 100,000 basically to the 75,000 is 87,500, and on and on and on and on. Basically, it's pretty simple. All you're doing is just dividing in half, starting basically from 0 to 1, and then dividing in half. Going, I'm not in the business of, doing unnecessary things and drawing unnecessary levels, so I'm not going to draw down here. We're in the business of making money, so, or I'm in the business of making money. Anyway, why did that get all slid over and everything like that? Alright. So, basically, this is, what I have labeled as large quarters theory level here. And I apologize for these little, I couldn't figure out how to get those off of there, so hopefully that's not confusing you. Whatever that number is, I guess that's like the price line, of the current price, but I could not figure out how to get that off of there. So I just don't know. I tried to find it, but I couldn't. So hopefully that's not bothering you. Moving on up, we have basically, like I said, we're not in the business of drawing unnecessary levels, but just for the sake of illustration here in this video, quickly draw this so you can see, just to get our bearings of what we're looking at. So we have 1 to 2 halfway in between. Even though it looks disproportionate, it's just the way it is. I don't know why, but you saw the same thing down here. It's disproportionate from 0 to 1. It's because if you were drawing the other levels here, basically it would be this level. It's just disproportionate. I don't know why. but you can see basically how disproportionate it is. But here you have 0 to 25,000, and you have the same distance right here. That's the same distance in terms of pips or points, or however you want to call it. Yeah, so anyway, so it's just disproportionate. I don't know why. It's just something to do with the software or whatever. It's nothing wrong. It's just the way it is. So, but anyway, so you can see 1 to 2. And, you know, I here's what I did here. Just so I can show you what's going on with it. I don't know why that's not. Let me open this and I can do it. So this is actually what how I made that look like this. So I just put this here. And then just take so basically this would be large quarter theory, and this one, oh, is that the which one is that? I mean, you say, well, I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting your time, actually, and my time. But it's basically just for sake, so that you're not confused. Because once I go into the next section, if I leave this like this, you'll be confused. But at the same time, if I show you how I'm making these levels, then you'll be able to make them for yourself. So that is how I'm making these levels. Then I take these two and I drop them into the large quarter theory thingies, and then obviously this will be the same thing. I keep forgetting, it won't let me do it on the bottom. Okay, there's that. Oh, hold on, I forgot it. You actually do have to line this one up because it doesn't really register the same way. For some reason. Actually, here, you know, a little trick that I did learn. If you start them both off, let's see if it does it on this. They'll go to the same spot, right? So lock that in there. Move this up off of the 0. Now they're on the same spot. So that little trick I learned for you. That way you can get that one. All right. So anyway, back to what we're talking about. All right. So here we go. Now let's get to it. Now we understand what's going on. This, you know, this is our world right here. This is our frame. And like I said, 1 to 2, and then halfway is, you know, if I'll show you, halfway is 1.5. So you got 1 to 2, halfway is 1.5. Halfway between 1 and 1.5 is 1.25, and so on and so on. Halfway between 1 and 1.0 and 1.25 is 1.1 to 50. Okay, and halfway between 1.25 and 1.5 is 1.375, and you'll learn these levels as you go. it will be more clear here in a second. Now, when I add these, please don't be confused here. I'll explain what's going on. All right. So let's go to add the medium. The medium. We're not going to even talk about the small because I don't want to confuse you. So we're going to add the medium. I might show you the small, but it probably will confuse a lot of y'all. So, yeah, I know it looks like bad now, but I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in here. Sorry, my mouse froze. I know it looks like crazy right now, but just as far as the price action zooming through, we are in the monthly. If I was to back out and go to the daily, it might especially if I was to go back to one of these areas. You see how that would look a little bit better as far as the reactions. Yeah, so you can kind of see that. So anyway, but yeah, so these smaller levels, if you see, I can toggle. So you see how we have a major level here that was left over from this, the large Quarters Theory levels. But now we add the medium, and now we start to fill in between the large Quarters Theory levels. So we have the same concept, exactly the same concept, from 0.9 to 1.0. You know, that is 10,000 points, right? So we went from basically 100,000 points from 0 to 1. That's 100,000. And from 0.9, so from all the way from here, 0 to 1, that is 100,000. And I see the reason why it does that is because you're going, all these numbers are popping out on you, so it pops that out. So what you gotta do to fix that is just drag that like that. All right. So anyway, back to what we're saying. So this is 10,000. So that was 100,000. This is 10,000. That's basically what you call it. Like I called it that before when I was explaining it on the YouTube video that I made. But basically, you have like 100,000 levels, you have 10,000 levels, and then you have 1,000 levels. The 1,000 levels are like the small Quarters Theory levels that we'll talk about later. But yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, so hopefully we can get through this. But yeah, so basically, you know, from 0.9 to 1.0, okay, halfway between there is, so you got to think, this is the 90,000 right here. All this, that's the simplest way that you can not be confused. Understand, sorry, that this is the 90,000 level. That's what we're dealing with here, okay? That's just what this is. The 90s, the 90,000s. That's where we are. So that way you can understand 90,000 to basically 100,000, okay? And this is 90,000 area, right? So halfway between 90,000 and 100,000 is what? 95,000, okay? Take out the decimal in your mind when you're thinking about it. Do not include the decimal when you are thinking about it. Think about it without the decimal. So 90,000 to 100,000, halfway between there is 95,000. Halfway between 90,000 and 95,000 is, you know, nine basically 1,000, 250, 2,500, sorry, 9,000, sorry, 92,500, sorry. Halfway between 90,000 and 95,000 is 92,500. Halfway between, hey, I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to show y'all what I'm doing here. So, I apologize, but all right, 95,000 to 100,000, halfway between that is 97,500, and on and on and on, and it's the same thing over and over and over. What I want to show you is so that how you can not be confused when you are putting all these levels in. The biggest thing that's going to confuse people is not understanding that there is 100,000 levels, 10,000 levels, and 1,000 levels. Like, if you can understand that, you can understand, basically what I'm saying. Sketchpad. There's like an app where I think this is it here. I had drawn it before, but real quick. So basically, you have these levels here, and you could do different colors and everything like that. So you can have like a red. Okay. Basically, okay. You have like an orange. It's probably a better way to do this, but right now, quick and dirty. So here's like your kind of what you can. So you got your 100,000 levels, okay? And then what you'll have like a 0 level here, okay? And that'll be one of the things that you'll have. And then basically, you'll also have 10,000 level, okay? And then you also have 1,000 levels. All right, so let's just leave it at that for now, just so that you understand what I'm saying visually speaking. So from 1.0 to 1.1, that is a 10,000 level, right? You see that? 10,000 more than this one, okay? And you just divide in half, and this is not complete, but it just takes a second to, once you get used to it, you'll know, okay, like that's 25, so you just put the number in there, put that in, put your width in that you want. Now, the reason that I use this dot down here is so for the 100,000 levels, is so that I can use the thick one for the 10,000 levels, which enables me to use the thinner lines for the 1,000 levels. Hopefully this is making sense. reason why I didn't make this video for a long time, I guess, is because, like, sometimes I was trying to figure out exactly how to make it understand, for me to not be confused, right? Because if you are confused, you're not going to be able to help other people not be confused. So I know that might sound confusing, but basically you want to keep track of your 100,000 levels and your 10,000 levels, right? And the way that you do that is to create these here. So you see that? I just got to add these to the medium right there, and there you go. Okay, so moving on up, and we could keep repeating, but what I want to show you is this is how you track, because if as price is moving between these levels are, the red are more powerful levels than the orange, and the orange are more powerful levels than the yellow, and the yellow are more powerful levels than the white. Okay, but when you get to this dotted line, you have to all of a sudden understand, wait a minute, this is a different level. This level is way more powerful and significant than this yellow level up here. This white dotted level is way more significant and powerful than even this red dotted line, or this red line here, even the 1.1. Why? Because look at how price action. Let's just look at it. I'm just going to say, let's just look at it, right? Can you see that? I mean, I'm asking, can you see that? Okay, you see how price moves, right, to these. It's just almost like it looks like almost right here, like they're just blowing through. Because we're on a weekly, it looks like they're just blowing through these medium 10,000 levels. That's what it looks like, right? It looks like, okay, coming down, it bounces off of this 100,000 level, goes up, consolidates at this 100,000 level. And when I say 100,000 level, what I mean is it's the true 100,000 level is this one right here. This is the 100,000 level. This is it. This is the 100,000 level right here. Boom. That's it. Okay. But what I'm saying is, these are all 100,000 level quarters theory levels. 100,000. You know what I'm saying? These are all like 100,000, like echelon, like significance, right? So these are high level quarters theory levels, right? And that's what I mean when I say it's bouncing off the 100,000 levels. Obviously, for example, let's look back here. So price, let's see, it comes up, bounces off of this true 100,000 level, and then goes up, consolidates at this I don't even really know what to call that. That would be at this point when I would be analyzing, I wouldn't even, just for the sake of not confusing myself, I wouldn't even really consider the one. I would just throw that out of my mind and just look at the and I would just look at the basically the numbers to the right of the decimal, so that I'm not confused, because it makes more sense to me, because I understand. For example, let's get rid of let's get rid of these. Or we don't have to get we don't have to get rid of them. But let's go. But let's look. Let me show you what I mean. So back to the daily, because that looks so bad without it. But for example, if I'm looking at this, okay, basically, I'm just going to be concentrating on the numbers to the right of the decimal. And why is that? Because I know what the numbers are, right? Understand, this is a 10,000 zone, but look up here. What is this? That's a true 10,000 zone, because it's literally 10,000, 15,000, right? So you're in that 10,000 until you get to 20,000, right? Now this is still a 10,000 zone as far as significance, as far as the echelon, but what I mean though, this is like 20,000, right? Because you got 25,000, 27,500, and until you get to 30,000, and then this next level is the 30,000s, but it's still a 10,000 quarters theory level echelon as far as significance goes, except for this one. This one is a 100,000 level significance, right? And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, and for me as well. I'm trying to make sure that this stays at the forefront of my mind at all times, because this is the levels that the banks and the institutions trade off of. I'm sitting over here on the daily. I'm on the weekly. A minute ago, I was on the weekly, and I'll go back to it in a second. Let me go back to the weekly in a second. But this is the 40,000 level, right? Because you got 40,000, 45,000, right, and all that. Okay, same thing. But price don't even get up there. So let me go back to the weekly and let me show you what I was talking about. About how price does at these levels. And it looks like, when you're looking at it, it's just like price is just blowing through these. Let's stay on the weekly, because I said I would. But look at what price is doing, right? I mean, we can go all the way back. Let's stay like right here, because this is where I got most of my levels put in right here. But yeah, look what it's doing. It's just, it comes up here, it blows up through there, comes back, blows up through there, comes back, blows up through there, bounces off of there, comes down, retest what? This 100,000 level, which is what? 25,000. The reason I say that is because, like I said, it's too much. You can't say every time 1.25, 1.375. That is too much. That's too much. You're doing too much. If you're doing that, you're doing too much. You don't need to, because everything is a 1. Everything is a 1. Look, all that is a 1. Everything. Price hasn't even moved out of the 1 point something boundary. So when we're talking about price, we don't even have to say 1. I mean, in our heads, in our minds, that we're talking to somebody else, we would say that, But for the sake of simplicity of being a trader, we got to think in terms of just think in terms of to the right of the decimal, because now you can package it up. You can package it up and understand. Okay, we got 50,000. Okay, we got 25,000. Okay, we got basically down here we got 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, and you can really just keep it simple and break it down like that. But like I said, these levels are significant, right? Look at how it does. Look, come back down here, bam, bam, bounce, try to, blew through, rejected, come down, boom, boom. Where does it bounce off of? I mean, it's really hitting on this 25,000 level. Bam. Now it finally blew through. Now what happened? Boom, come back up. What'd it do? Bam, rejects. You see what I'm saying? on that 25,000 level, man. It's obsessed with that level. I'm telling you. Okay, so what did it do? It come down, thought, okay, we're gonna get below the 12,500. No, boom, back up to the 25. So you see, these levels is not normal levels. These are the most significant levels, right? You might say, well, it's obvious. You're just saying the obvious things. Okay, but do you have these levels on your chart? Like I do. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm some kind of something. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. It's literally, I'm taking the time out of my schedule to teach and to show y'all what it looks like, and everything like that. And I'm learning more as I go as well. So I'm not doing it just for y'all. That's not how the human condition works. That's not how humans are. Humans do things because, regardless, I don't care what anybody says. Nobody does anything unless it's good for them. I don't care what you say unless they're just self-destructive, and that's a whole nother issue. But back on track, let's look. Okay, so you need to separate, and look what happened here. Boom, bam, look at that. Rejected right off of that 25,000 level. I'll tell you, that's 12,500 level. These levels is significant. These levels need to be paid attention to. And it's not just on Forex. It's not just on Euro USD. You can go and do this on anything. And I've got, other charts up and things like that. But for some reason, today I really started hitting on, because I was watching ICT do watching his series on Sniper Forex Sniper basic course, and he was going through some old price action on back in 2013. Exactly this, he was showing exactly this in volume 3 of the Scout Sniper basic course. And Michael Joe Huddleston, ICT, the man himself, he does not use quarters theory. That's okay. He uses works for him. He uses the 800 levels and the 200 levels and all that. But really, what's going on is, it's not the 800 levels. It's not the 200 levels. It's the 750 level and the 25 and the 250 level. The 750 and the 250. See this 750? See this two? Yeah, this is FX replay. Yeah, so you see this? This is remember I was telling y'all about 20,000 level? Remember I was telling y'all about the 20,000 level? 20,000 to 30,000 right here. And then, actually, the reason that I didn't even fix this yet, like I normally would have it fixed, just because I'm lacking. But normally I'd have that like that, and then I would have at this little level right here like this. Do it like that. I don't have them organized yet either. Actually, I just started organizing them. But anyway, yeah. So you see the reason I have this yellow, a little bit confusing. It looks a little bit confusing because normally this would be orange, but because this is this is where you have to really spend a lot of time, or I have had to spend a lot of time with the quarters theory and digesting it and looking at it and making sure I have my bearings about what I'm doing, and that's why I use this little dotted line, because normally this would be if you're in the 20,000 level, 20,000 to 30,000, what's halfway between? That's 25,000. So that's your halfway level. That would be orange. Remember this orange level right here? Okay, that would be your halfway point. That would be orange typically. But, and this is the reason why I'm showing y'all all this, because to understand the difference. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, so back to what I was saying over here. Uh, Price really is getting action off of these levels. Look at that. I mean, look at this. Look at that. And we're on the weekly right now. Go to the monthly. And let's just see what it looks like. One more time again. Look at this. It consolidates here, comes up, boom, rejects off of here, comes down, tries to blow through here, but comes back up, rejects off of here again, rejects off of here again, comes up, a little rejection off of here, comes up, rejection off of here, comes up, rejection, rejection, rejection off of this, rejection, rejection, blows down, rejection, 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 rejection. I mean, look at this. It's just, these levels is crazy. It's crazy. And there's more things that I could show y'all, but I don't want this video to go too long. But you know, study this out for yourself, man, and you'll really be, you know, blown away by the level of you know, precision and whatever that they're really using these levels. You know, it's like, you can see it's something going on in these levels. If you just waited and traded at these levels, if you you know, say price came down here, you waited for your little entry and all that, yeah, you would have to deal with finding your entry. But we're on the monthly right now, so you know, you have to zoom in, and that gets to the point of like let's just, for fun, let's go to more recent rejection. Let's go to right here. That we use smaller time frames to show y'all zoom in. So let's go up here, and if you're ready, if you're okay with me doing it, I'm gonna or whether or not you're okay with it doesn't matter, I guess. But I'm gonna put medium on here. So anyway, that's why I said, are you ready or not? But let's zoom in, and we got to get our bearings. We're zooming in. These are 10,000 levels. Now, you really think you're confused now? Wait until I put the 1,000 levels on there, and then I'm not going to spend long on that because that's going to confuse you probably. And I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. I'm just saying it's just the nature of the beast. You have to spend time with this in order to really digest it. So, but anyway, I'm not saying I'm some kind of smart guy or whatever like that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not Raphael Palmdale. Genius trading master course class. All right. Anyway, I'm not here to bash, but he's a cool guy. Anyway, different opinions out there. I'm not trying to get opinions, but yeah. So focus on this. Let me add. Let's just see what happens. Let's just do it. Okay, so I don't have that many. Actually, that's sort of funny, right? Tell you what, it's getting messy, right? So let's remove these. Let me see where I have drawn, because I honestly I don't really even use these small levels that much, which is why it's disorganized, right? They're just a little bit too small, honestly. But sometimes they can be significant. I have some drawn. Let's go over here where I have all these drawn. And let me get one more just for sake of completeness. Okay. Oh, brother. Come on. Can't you do it right? Thank you. All right. That is a different shade of red. Did you notice? I think it's okay. Whatever. It's fine. All right. Whew. Oh, boy. Oh boy. Where'd it go? I don't think I can go any more to the left. Alright, whatever. This is why I said I wasn't going to show y'all this, because it's hella confusing, dude. Yeah, y'all are with me up until this point. Now you're like, what the hell, man? This is... Yeah, this is... The only reason why I'm showing you this is because I want to show you sometimes you might want to pay attention to these little tiny levels, small levels, you know, because you have some little reactions sometimes around here. But really, look, that medium level, large quarters level, let's see if you really even need the small levels. I don't even think you do. I think you just trade around these levels. But sometimes, you know, you might find what I've found is, for example, if price blows through, or not blows through, but I talk about these things being like a trampoline, not like a hard surface to bounce off of, but more like a trampoline where it kind of goes below a little bit. So what you'll find is that sometimes when it does go below, what it'll do is it'll tap into one of these little 1000 levels, right? And you can see that happening at different times here. Let's draw this level here, for example. You can see it tapped into this level. And also sometimes, like when you're drawing like a Fibonacci too, or something like that, you know, you'll see like a confluence of like a Fibonacci level and then one of these 1000 levels. And I just don't have a lot of the yellow 1000 levels because they're less significant, and I certainly don't have any whites because I did that a long time ago and it just is too much. You don't need it. Okay, so I pretty much just stick, I don't go below, I have not recently gone below the half levels on the 1000 in terms of significance, 1000 level in terms of quarters theory, being the small. So the small, I call the small quarters theory levels. The small quarters theory levels, I call those the 1000 levels. The medium quarters theory levels, I call those the 10,000 levels. And the large quarter levels, I call the 100,000 quarters levels. So, yeah. Let me see if I can zoom out. And the reason that I did not show y'all the freaking small ones is because, and the reason I have them all in separate things is so that I can just get rid of them. This is a lot less confusing, especially since they're not complete and I don't have them all drawn out. And even if I did have them all drawn out, you can imagine all this spaces in between here would be just filled in and flooded out, and it's just too much because our focus as traders really needs to be on these higher time frames. and really needs to be on these higher time frame levels. We really should be trading on these higher time frame levels. Let me show you. Let me go down to the 1 hour, and there's like an old back test trade I took, but let me put on this. Which one is it? Is it this one? This is going to be our daily. So you can see. So when you're trying to find a trade intraday. By the way, let me add the Asian ranges real quick. You know, sometimes this is where you might need the small quarters theory levels. For example, you know, how far back can we go? I don't know. But let's say right here. Yeah, let's just say you're trying to find an entry. Let's just say you're looking for a short. Well, we know that the London session typically forms the high or the low of the day. So if you were going to say this was the high, then you would look at you know, these levels that you have around here, and trade down to that. And you might add in a level down here to kind of watch out for. And this is, you know, kind of the way you can use the smaller, you know, because it might have come down here and bounced off of this. So you might have just took profits there, or just took profits at those lows. But you can see, you know, price bounced off of that before. But like, you know, over here, for example, you're looking for a short on this day. You see this sort of a kind of turtle soup thing happening here, where price broke down below and then exploded up and sort of made everybody think, okay, we're bullish, and then dumped on down. Well, what you can notice is we're just right here, you know, pretty close to this 6,000 level, but and all I'm trying to show you here is I'm not sure if that's is that an order block there? It looks like an order block. Or I just call it supply and demand. But yeah, you know, and you can get these kind of confluences where you can draw, if you're drawing like a Fibonacci, then you can say, okay, 61.8, or right here, or maybe you drew it actually from there would be better. Yeah, so you say, okay, boom, nice little confluence of things here. You got this little order block from where we broke this low. We did run up into it already once, but ran up into it again here. Boom. You could have just sold there and just took another entry there if you wanted. But again, these are 2 different days. But the only reason I'm showing you this is I'm not showing you like all this, not trying to show you all this stuff. I'm just trying to show you the fact of why the smaller quarters theory levels can be significant. You know, because price will play off of them, like over here. This is the 750 level here. And so you see price bounced off of there, and that was it for the day. New York low was at this 1,000 quarters theory level, and basically, yeah, and it just kind of came up here. Looks like it hit inversion level here. And or got close to it, right? But let's see what happens if we look. 25 there. Da, 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 da. If you really wanted to get microscopic with it, there is another level that you can use, and it's going to confuse you some more. But this one is just another half level. And I actually use the color gray for it. But, you know, sometimes you might want to use it just to get another confluence, because that is a significant price, even though it's so small. If I was to show you some of my other which I don't want to confuse you, but I don't want to try to do too much, you know. But let's see, what do I have? Do I have it on here? Let me see. I don't have this organized the same way. Do I have quarters levels on here? I just started looking at this recently, so I may not have all that mapped out on this one. Let's see if I know I did a lot of work on GBP/USD. I don't have it organized though. I haven't spent that much time organizing it, but I want to see if I have. And this is going to be really confusing. As you can see, this is actually a good illustration as to why you should clean up our charts and everything, and stay organized. Because if you don't stay organized, your chart's going to end up looking like this, and you're not going to know what's going on. But I have not traded this since the day that I made this mess, which was over here. And it's really, you know, just if you want a quick, if you wanted to see me organize this real quick, I basically just put everything into categories. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just do it. So on a Mac, it's Command click, and then if you have ones in a row, you can hold down Shift or Command to click on the first one, and then Shift to click on the rest of them. But just drag it to. I should have fib retracements. And then put those up, and then so click on the first one, click Shift, and I gotta organize all this stuff, but you know that's how you do it. Anyway, I'm not going to spend my video time on doing that, but that's why I organized this one. And once you have it organized, things will be making a lot more sense. Hopefully this didn't confuse you too much. But this is a case in point why it's important to spend most of your time on your own charts instead of watching other people. But obviously there's educational benefit to watching videos like this. But yeah, did I create an inversion level? I guess might not have that many inversion levels on here, but you know, like I would basically just drag this one down to fibs and hide that. This one I would put in supply and demand and hide that. And then this one should have, I guess I didn't create, but you just create folder, inversion levels. Inversion levels are, you know, just a level where, you know, if you look what happened, you can see exactly what an inversion level is. My bad, dude. Which way do we got to go? That way? Yeah. Okay. So this is the reason why you draw inversion levels is because price will, you know, come back up to there and bounce off, come back up to there and bounce off. That's, you know, support turn resistance and that. So that's an inversion level. It's just another point of confluence that you can use. Oh, what am I doing? When you're trying to find an entry, you know, like if you drew a fib here, you said, let me draw a fib here, down to here, you're like, well, it got close, but it didn't go all the way up. Why is that? Well, you can see with the inversion level why it reacted like it did, and there's just a lot of levels here. You got an inversion level. You've got this. Sort of a micro 1000 quarters theory level. And then you've got this major or medium quarters theory 10,000 level. So anyway, a lot of bearish pressure there. But I'm not here to like teach all that stuff. I just was showing you a little bit of how you might want to organize your stuff. And, you know, just emphasize the importance of being organized in general as a trader. I think it's something you have to do if you want to be successful. So this one will go in there. We'll hide that one. So hopefully this video made sense to you and didn't confuse you. And the last thing I'll say, one more thing, is so really these are like whole levels. I keep saying quarters levels, everything's a quarters level, everything, but really like these are whole levels. Okay, from here, from 1.0 to 1.1, that's a whole quarters theory level. This is a half quarters theory level, and then this is actual a real true quarters theory level, and it's a quarter from here to here, here to here, here to here. It's a half quarter from here to here, and basically a whole level from here to here. So a half level, a whole level, and then true quarters levels are this, and then this would be like a I don't know, I guess you could say like micro quarter level, or you know, or whatever, like just a subdivision of the quarters theory level. But you'll see price, you know, reacting off of these white levels, and you know, obviously just the color coding, it just makes it simpler. You know, the red is the most significant and then the orange is the second most significant, and the yellow the third most significant, and then the white is the the fourth most significant. And then if you really want to, you can add let me just show you real quick. Let me show you a trick, and then I'll be done with the video, I promise. All right, so there's one trick you could do. Let me actually show you, and this will help you, and then you'll thank me later. All right, so what you want to do is you want to take whatever this is and this is, 1.0125, 1.01250 minus 1, right? Minus 1.000. All right. So it's that minus that gives you this. Divide that by 2. Remember that number, by the way. 0.0125. 0.0125. 0.0125. Divided by 2. Now, add 1 to that. Now this is your first level here. Copy that. Double click this. Paste it into there. Make sure it's gray. Whichever shade of gray you want. Okay, now this comes the trick. You're wondering, what is he saying? Why is he saying it? Well, did you remember that number? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that number, 0.0, what was it, 0.0, was it 00? 125? 1.0075. Let's try. I think this is right. I'm not 100% sure. I won't know until here's the test. Ready? Nope. I got it wrong. All right. So what we got to do is let's do this. Copy this. No, hold on. Copy this. Paste it into here. Minus 1. Okay, there it was 0.0125. Now add that to this. So take this plus that, copy this, and that gets you to where you want to be right there. Now here's the trick. This is the reason why I'm showing you this. I know we're over an hour. I was going to keep it under an hour, but I want to show you this real quick. Now, remember that number plus 0.0125. Boom, copy. If you don't do this, it's going to be too confusing for you. This is the simplest way you could possibly do it. Otherwise, it's going to be way too confusing. This is the simplest way. I've been doing this for 2 years, or maybe not the quarters theory for 2 years, but I've been doing the quarters theory for a long time, and this is the simplest way. All right, 0.0125. Everything else comes second nature, but these little micro levels, you have to do this. If you don't do this, then just don't use these levels, because it's going to be too much for you. I think 0.125 equal, copy, come here. Now I'm not going to do all these levels, but I just want to do enough so I can show you price reacting. And for the sake of completeness, I guess I just started at the bottom, like Drake. 0125. Started at the bottom, now we here. Started at the bottom, now we here. My whole crew, how does it go? My whole crew, something. It's been a while since I've heard it. So, started at the bottom, now we here. My whole crew flossing, or what did she say? I apologize. Sorry, Drake. Yeah, so look, you can see it. You're starting to see price reacting. And let me keep going. 0125. You're starting to see why these little tiny levels can be significant, because now, I don't know about you, but I'm a day trader, right? Which means I'm looking for trades intraday. What happened? Oh man, we missed one. That's cool. Minus, I was talking and singing and carrying on and being stupid. All right. Now we're good. All right. So yeah. So this is where we are. You can see price reacting off of this. These levels, like especially right here. Look at this. Look at this. Come on, y'all. What you know about Quarters theory levels? What you know about Quarters theory, bruh? I know I'm wanting to buy it, but $75? Damn, bro. Honestly, I've been wanting to buy it for a while. I might just do it. Alright, well anyways, check it. Look at this. London session makes the high. Where? Right below this micro level. Why do I call it a micro level? This is a real true micro level because this is the smallest Quarters theory level that I will use. This is it. Not only the smallest subdivision ever, but the smallest, because we're on the 1,000 scale. Remember, there's a 10,000 scale, a 100,000 scale. There's a 100,000 scale, a 10,000 scale, and a 1,000 scale. This is at the 1,000 scale level. Now, so you see London rejects off of this level, boom. You could just, you could just say, well, we're in London and we're coming to this level, and you see the first, sort of bearish indication, or it breaks this low here. You could just sell, and it's not that many pips. Your stop loss is not going to be too big. It's going to be pretty big there, actually. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Why does it click down, bro? Stop that. Your stop loss would be like 300 pips or something. But if you would have held to the next day, you could have got like 1,000 pips. Or points. Sorry, points. 30 pips, 100 pips profit. But my point is, you can see these levels, right? And you don't really need, in my opinion, any other levels. So here's the cool thing. One thing you can notice this pattern. I didn't mean for this video to go on and on and on so long, but one thing you can notice about price action, and this is to the decade, to the year, to the quarterly in the within the year, 3 month periods, monthly, weekly, daily, all time frames. It's fractal. This idea I'm about to say is the fact that what I've observed happens, and ICT, this is where I learned it from, but I have observed it on the charts myself. And you look right here, all the way back to here. The first quarter of any time period, this is 1 day period, the first quarter almost always sets the higher the low. So if you're bearish, you're trying to sell, boom, London session, that's the first quarter, somewhere in there, boom, that's the high. And this is 2023 August. This stuff still works today. 2023 August 14th. It's October now, but this is recent. But you can see, boom. Where does it go? It goes to this medium quarters theory level. First quarter of the day, boom, sets the high. Closes down here somewhere. This is why taking partials is so important, because maybe you're expecting it to go here, but it didn't get there till the next day, and you had to sit through all this. But if you took partials, then at least you got something out of it, or you could close full at a certain period time in the day. Unfortunately, you had this kind of like situation where it went down. Hopefully, you took partials and then it rallied up. You're like, oh damn, that sucks. Maybe you got stopped out, whatever. So maybe that trade was a failure. But the next day, you're like, okay, boom, we're back at this level, and you're like, okay, cool. First quarter, we're bearish, so we want to be selling. So you just sell, and then boom, level to level. You have, what is the level here? It keeps moving. Stop moving. It's like 600 points, so 60 pips. So anyway, you could have like 60 pips, or at least 50. So like at least 500 from like here to here or whatever. That's like at least 500 points, 50 pips. So, but the first, there's always a trade from the first quarter to some point in the day. There's always like a trade there. There's always a trade there. Look at this. You could say, well, this is the first quarter, goes down. Okay, boom. Take your partials here, close full. Or you could say, this is the first quarter, and then you could trade up. So either way, whatever you're trying to do, you could do that. But first quarter, and then it goes up, boom. Yeah, it comes back first, but then it goes. Or you could just took your partials here. I know it's not like a huge trade. I mean, it's only 30 pips or something, but look, in the first quarter, boom, goes down. That's a nice trade. First quarter, boom, goes down. That's London. Sets the higher the low of the day usually, or at least there's a trade in there. Look at this. First quarter, boom, goes down. First quarter, boom, goes up. First quarter, it closes the day higher. First quarter, boom, closes the day higher. First quarter, boom. It'll usually go in the opposite direction after the midnight, and then it'll give you some profits. So it's the opposite direction. Actually, this was a little bit more tricky, this one, because Asia set the high and low of the day, which is more rare. But and then you got a reversal in London, so that was a little bit more tricky. But if you played it right, this still is really kind of in the first quarter. If you divided this up into quarters, it's the first half anyway. But just this general pattern is what you want to look at. If you look, look at it. You keep going, boom, boom. It's this kind of general pattern that you see, not all the time, but look, it's just sort of the flow of the market, and that's what you got to get in tune with. Not every day is a good day to trade. It's just not, as you can see. But these levels, I want to pay attention to these levels. And these are supposed to be, according to this indicator, the daily opening price, but I've not found it to be super accurate. As you can see, it's off by quite a bit there. But I find it to be close enough. For my purposes, it's close enough. But yeah, these little micro levels could be helpful, because you see price reacting off of them all the time. So yeah, they're and there's other ways. You could take all these levels off and go to the daily, and you could find there's other ways to find key levels. This is not the only way, but this is just a way. And that's why for example, like, so say you wanted to have say you wanted to get these off of here, you just wanted to have and you just wanted to have these large quarters theory levels on there, and then you wanted to just go in there and find like your sort of like monthly highs and lows. So in another video I'll go over some different things, like we have to go like you got like decade opening price. I got yearly quarters. You got like zoom in here. You say, well, what is all that? Well, I'm not trying to get into it on this video. I don't know what this video is about, but there's other things you could do. So this is like yearly opening price right here, yearly opening price. There's other price levels to consider. This is like based on ICT's Power of 3 concept, but. So the only reason I'm showing you all this stuff is that there's other things, there's other considerations to have other than basically just quarters theory is not like the end all be all. It's not everything that you need, and it's one reason it's good to have these things separated, so that I can use just the large ones. If I want to take a bigger look at like the monthly or the weekly or the daily or something, and I just want to see these big levels and in relation to like the yearly open. As you can see, I kind of just started studying this whole idea and concept of yearly opening price, and that's one of the reasons I'm making this video, is because I'm starting to get excited again, because I'm starting to see some like more patterns and things like that. So, but my point is and I haven't been that excited in a while, but except for when I learned new ICT stuff. But my point is that I know it's busy, right? It's very a lot, but you got to zoom in, and you can start to see. And remember that pattern I told you about real quick? I'll show you. Like, even works on a year, on a decade, sorry, yearly opening price too. Look at this, first quarter, the first half, it's down here, and then it closes in the opposite end. Starts the first quarter, the first half, and boom, it closes on the opposite end. Like, so like wherever you are here, it's probably going to be opposite. Same thing here. You know, of course, it's a little bit different, but first half. So you say first half, right? Actually, halfway point, we were down here, but we closed. So that was kind of like a half and half type thing. But here, first half, we were up here, and then boom, we ended up down here. And it's kind of the same thing. If you look, these blue lines are yearly dividers, by the way. Sorry, you probably don't know what the hell you're looking at. But, and then these colored lines are all quarters theory. But that was like a half and half here. And you can just go back through, and it's just an indicator that I'm using, this one here. Year, quarter, month, week, break. But you know, you can kind of go and look at these patterns. Look at that first quarter, first half, boom, close on the other end of the spectrum here. First quarter, first half, it's up here, and then boom. And it's just over and over on every single time frame, every single interval. It's the same story. First quarter, first half, and then boom. Same thing. First quarter, first half, boom. And it's just over and over and over, and the market does the same. It has the same tendencies, right? Like, no matter the direction, no matter the price, no matter the interval, no matter if it's you're looking at the monthly or the weekly or the daily or the hourly or whatever, it just has these tendencies, and that's what you got to key in on. But using these levels, and there's just a lot to it. But I'm not trying to confuse you. I just wanted to show you that there is more to trading than just the quarters theory. But it's certainly something that you need to have in your toolbox, and that's really what all these things are tools in your toolbox. Just like any good worker, right? Any good construction worker has the right tools for the job. This kind of gets annoying because sometimes you can't move it. It won't let you move it until you get rid of this. Now you can move it. And then you can also use volume too to help you make your decisions. But I don't know. Some people might argue that that's not something that you want to do. But anyway, yeah. So this video is about quarters theory, and the reason I showed I had reasons for showing you the other things. But yeah, don't try not to get confused. Try to hopefully this video makes sense. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Hopefully it helps somebody. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully that helps. And thank you so much for watching.